everybody, how you doing? And more specifically, Jerome, how are you doing? Want to make a video real quick for Jerome. I saw this morning before I went to work his post up on Facebook on the Project Josiah Facebook page about having a debate. And hey, I'm open for a debate, Jerome. Definitely would love to engage you in that way, and interested in hearing any questions you have, and interested in being challenged, and coming back at you with what I have. The problem for me with having a debate on Facebook is just it's difficult because it's time consuming. I have a full-time job, I have a wife and 5 kids and tons of other responsibilities, counseling that I do with people from around the world. And I'm not complaining about any of those things. I love those things. I enjoy those things. They come first. And when I sit, here in front of the computer and have a debate and go to the trouble to go over and get a commentary and research a question that somebody has about the Bible because they hate God and they hate Christianity and they hate Jesus and they have questions about the Bible, and I go to the trouble to research it and come up with a legitimate answer, and then somebody says, I don't accept that answer. It's very frustrating, and it's time consuming, and I really don't have time for it. So that's why, I could speak for myself that you haven't seen me on here a lot. Of course, I haven't seen you. Where in the world have you been, man? You've been missing since we were supposed to hook up in Cleveland. But hey, that's cool, man. I know that people get busy and it's hard to make it out to things. So no problem there. I do hope that we can meet again sometime. There'll be other opportunities for us to hook up. Let me take this time to extend invitation to you in Cuyahoga Falls. We're going to be up there on the 15th of September. So I'll give you details, if you can make it. And if you can't make it specifically to that, maybe I can make it out afterwards and meet you. So it's kind of a conference that we're doing, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal, man. There's nobody going to give you a hard time there. Just a place for us to talk. I went in tons of times to places where it's kind of uncomfortable. So, but I understand if you don't want to make it. But listen, I'm open to having a debate, but I am not crazy about wasting my time on Facebook and just, it's difficult to get what's in my head into this keyboard here and to be able to express myself. And a lot of times when you're having a debate on Facebook, you make a point and then somebody asks 5 more questions by the time you get done answering the last one, and it just, you understand what I'm saying. I mean, and then somebody else gets in there and it gets to be a mess. And I know that's the nature of debating on Facebook, but I think the biggest frustration is for me, like what I mentioned before, is going to the trouble to come up with a legitimate answer to a question. And, somebody just could say, hey, that's not a good enough answer, when that person's not a Bible scholar. I'm not a Bible scholar, so I don't have all the answers. I do appreciate being challenged because it strengthens my understanding of God's Word. So I'm not, convinced that there's anything that I can say to change your mind. You're pretty hardcore in your beliefs, and I'm hardcore. There's absolutely no doubt in my beliefs, and I'm confident that God is in my life. I believe that He's real. There's nothing that I've seen that you or any Satanist has to offer that would make me change my mind to trade this peace that I have in my heart. It just means the world to me. And to walk through life every day and have peace and just know that the God that created this universe is in my corner and He loves me. I mean, I'm not trying to get into a preaching time here or even start a debate here, but what I'm trying to say is we're probably not going to change each other's minds, but I'm open to discussion and intelligent discussion. There's a ton of things that that I don't know, and there's a lot of ways that you're smarter than me. You know a lot about philosophy and things like this that I don't know about. There are others on Facebook that are familiar with your sources and those who you read. So anyway, man, what it comes down to is that I can look into this camera and right back at you off of your computer screen and tell you that I love you and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for that. And that's what I'm all about. It's not for me. And that's one of the big ways that I know that Christ is real and that the Spirit of God is real, because I don't have a lot of love of my own. Okay? I could probably care less if you fall in a ditch tonight in my humanness, in my flesh, and die. Okay? But because the love of Christ is in me, I am compelled to love you and the other Satanists and the other people who accuse me and come against me, and even the people who do rituals and curses against me. I'm compelled to love them, and I can't help it. And when I get the opportunity, I went out a couple months ago and got to sit down and eat brunch with some atheists. And the reason I went is because I love them, even though they, I don't want to put words in their mouth, but they hate Christianity. They may not hate me, but pretty close. So anyway, yeah, I'm open to debate, but if you don't see me on here, it's not because I don't have the answer. It's because I don't have the time. But there are those who do, and I always push for kind of a Skype or face-to-face thing, because it just works for me a little bit better. I'm a little bit old school, and it's difficult to keep up, And like I said, I got a lot of things going on, big family, and just a lot of things that get neglected because I spend too much time on Facebook debating people who don't even appreciate the answer when I actually go to the trouble to research it and give them an answer. So, yes, hey, I'm saying all that to say this. Hey, yeah, let's debate. I'm open to it. I don't know if we should lay down some kind of rules. It just seems like the attacks get personal when somebody gets put in a corner. Okay, I can't say that I haven't been guilty of that. Maybe I have. I can't think of an instance right now. I do not want to come against anybody personally, but there's definitely a chance that I have. I can't think of any instance now. Maybe somebody else can. But I do know that there's been a ton of Satanists who, when they hear an answer they don't like or they see evidence they don't like, the attacks get personal. So it's pretty ridiculous. I don't know. I'm looking for intelligent debate, mature debate, and I would definitely be open to that. And I don't know. Hopefully, we can gain some ground. I don't know. I'm not real hopeful, like I said, of changing your mind. I know my mind's not going to be changed, but I'm open to hearing questions, and I'm open to being challenged, and I'm open to taking the time to present the answers. And if I don't have an answer right away, it doesn't mean that there's not an answer. So I believe God's word has the answer, and there's a lot of things that don't make sense. And I have questions myself, and that's why I research them. And there's not been a time where I have been let down and I have not found an answer. I believe that the answer is in there. There's a reason for everything in there. Like I said, a lot of it doesn't make sense. But anyway, I'm going on, and I want to close this off. But again, I want to say the reason I do this is for my love for people like you, for the other Satanists, for anybody who's lost, for the people who are hopeless. Hope for the hopeless. I believe in that. I really do. So again, hope we get to meet someday. But until then, we'll just try to do the best we can debating on Facebook. Okay? Thanks a lot, man.
Here we go.